I'm Erin Rose. I'm here. We're at NAB Live, and so here we go. I am here with Jane Sung from Cinedeck.
Hi.
Hi. It's so nice to see you here.
Yeah, so great to be here.
Okay, so what are you excited about here?
Oh, I think I'm just excited to be at NAB, and it finally feels like a normal year after the pandemic. So there's a lot of energy here. There's so many more people here, and I'm just sort of excited to get back into it.
Yeah, I think that's such a great point. Last year, I came back for the first time after the pandemic, and it was a great crowd. But I think this year it's going to be even bigger. I mean, we're here for 100 years, right? And so I think that's super exciting, and I think we're actually going to see more of that international crowd come back too. So yeah, I'm with you. I'm very excited about this year. So can you tell me a little bit about what you have going on with Cinedeck this year? I heard you have a new product, Connects. Is that right?
Yeah. So we're sort of continuing our tradition of new products, kind of every single year. Last year, we came out with a product called CD2, and we won an award, a Best of Show award. That was amazing.
Congratulations. I saw that.
Thank you. It was a software-only ingest product. This year, we're coming out with a product called Connects. It's a automated workflow builder. So basically, it helps you bridge production to post-production by letting you transcode, transform, and then also either check in your media automatically to your MAM or to your S3 bucket. It's a really cool tool. It requires no programming knowledge or anything like that, so it's very easy to use, and that was the entire idea behind it. We really wanted to make that's the entire idea behind all of our products. We want to make everything that we make super easy to use, and without sacrificing too many of the more sophisticated features that people need.
But yeah, I think that's such a great point, though, right? Because I think when we think about production these days, we're thinking about like that barrier to entry. And so, one of the things that I keep hearing about is how much we need to bring in new talent. And a lot of that is, that training, that learning. And so if you're actually reducing that learning curve with the kind of products that you're putting together, then I think you're going to, create a bigger talent pool, which is so important in our industry.
Well, creativity is really the asset that any young person in this industry can bring to the table, because no product should be its own gatekeeper. Do you know what I mean? It's like you shouldn't have to have some badge that says, well, I'm trained in this, and that's silly. Everything now is about inclusivity. It's about making things as easy as possible, and really it's your own creativity that makes that product so much more amazing.
Oh my gosh, I love that so much. I do, because I think that's so important. And I think, again, that opens up that talent pool, is that you don't need someone who has like this crazy film degree. Yes. You don't need someone who's had 5 years of training. You can now just create. And I think the tools that we're seeing today, your tools, any of the tools that are incorporating AI are really facilitating that, right?
Yeah, it totally is. And I'm really impressed by AI, the whole ChatGPT thing.
Yes.
I've played with it, and I can't wait to figure out how we can use it in our products. Yeah. I think that, again, it just sort of goes back to the individuality and the creativity that anyone can bring to the table. It's not, you don't need some certification or some degree. You definitely need some expertise in IT now, more so than any other time in history, but those are really translatable skills between any industry. But, definitely in broadcast, you need a little bit of IT.
Yep. And I think, I think like that's such a great point, right? Because now even with ChatGPT, it's able to enable you to program. Yeah. So we're not looking at like that barrier anymore in terms of technology. And so if you're creating tools that are helping the creatives, then you're already beating kind of like that ChatGPT kind of.
Well, it's just like Connects, because literally you do not, the first time I saw a demo of it, I was like, I could do that. and I don't think that I'm an untechnical person. I'm certainly technical, and I can talk, about, all the reasons why, but I wouldn't say that I'm a programmer or I'm, I don't. And when I saw it, I was like, whoa, I can do that. I can demo it like this. And you can literally learn how to use it extremely quickly. Actually, when you watch the demo of it, you'll feel confident that you can do it yourself, just like I did. So it's really cool.
And I think maybe Broadcast Beat is actually using this right now. Is that the rumor that I heard?
Yeah, so Broadcast Beat has 2 Cinedecks in their studio in Florida, and Ryan sent me like a video of it. He's like, "Oh yeah, I shouted out Cinedeck," and I was like, "Oh, thank you, Ryan." So it was really cool. Thank you, Ryan. And I know that they're recording the incoming feeds from this live show, so it's pretty cool. I was like, "Wow."
Oh my gosh, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Kind of full circle.
Yes, I love that. And I think, that's something about our industry, and it's also about the energy of being back, is that, when I came back last year, I felt like I was at a reunion where, you're seeing everybody from your career.
Not everybody came.
But not everybody came, but you're like, hey, have you caught up with so-and-so, and so I think like that's fun. And then, the more you talk to people, you're like, oh, so-and-so,
And that's another thing. It's, your product has to be willing and able to work with other products easily.
Yes.
There is no single siloed workflow anymore, and I think that many customers are really turned off by one product being the only product because, maybe one of those products will go EOL or and then what do you do? So you really need to think broader about how you're going to be tackling your workflow challenges and just incorporate many different products and find products that can also incorporate with other products really easily.
Okay, so that just begs the question then, what are the other products here on the floor, other companies that you are excited to go see or that you've been hearing about or partnering with?
So we do have partnerships with EditShare.
Yeah.
So we check directly into their flow and into their media space. We're doing a lot of cool things with them, like edit while capture in a media composer timeline with an auto refresh. That's really cool. We are also partnering with Iconic, so you can check media directly into an Iconic space. Also IPV. IPV is another asset manager. Great company. Really nice people. They have a fantastic integration with Premiere, and they are we basically create their proxies so that we can check in media right away on that side too. And then also open drives. So we are also writing directly to the open drive space. So there's so much stuff that we're doing. And then we're continuing to engage more and more with other people to really sort of bridge that technology gap. Sometimes there's still a lot of, believe it or not, manual labor that happens. People are literally clicking and dragging and moving media to space, and it's just why? Yeah.
Well, we were just talking to the Adobe folks, and I think one of the things that was interesting is they're doing so much with AI and enabling, an easier edit and all of that. And so I think, one of the things, so I love, I'm going to go back to what you said earlier about that creative, putting the creative back into creative, right? And I think that's one thing that we're going to see AI do, right? Is that it's going to enable the creativity as opposed to being that barrier of entry. And so you're not, you can be a technologist also, but now you can also just focus on that creativity.
Right. How can you bring your creativity to the forefront instead of a piece of software, So I think that's really what AI is all about. That's really what all of these products that are here at NAB are all about, trying to bring your personal creativity to the forefront.
Yeah, that's so great. And so can you tell me a little bit about CD2 that you...
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, so CD2, we won a Best of Show last year. We actually did... a Best of Show application also for Connects this year, so fingers crossed. But CD2 is a software-only ingest product that takes all the experience and all of the software that we've built into our hardware system and gives you just a software-only option. So it's subscription-based, so it's super affordable, and it has this wealth of multicam, experience that we built into our hardware in a software package. And that same software is actually also in our cloud product.
Okay.
So Capture to Cloud will let you ingest directly into the cloud. So we sort of we sort of kind of touch all of it. So we have a cloud ingest, we have software ingest, and we have hardware ingest. So
that's so great. And I think that is something else that's really interesting, right? Is that flexibility, because, I was at the SVG Chairman's Forum this weekend, and so we were kind of, they were talking about how much of your workflow has actually moved to the cloud, and how much needs to move to the cloud, and how much people actually prefer to still have on-prem. And so I think that's the thing that's kind of interesting, is allowing people, enabling people to have that flexibility.
Yeah, I mean, the same, the conversation that we've had with people is, I'm not ready for cloud now, but I will be.
Right.
So do you have a cloud product that I can just sort of like move into? And the answer is yes. I think it's so important that as a company that you have a future-proofing solution today. Because people don't even want to talk to you if you don't.
No.
You must be able to demonstrably have a future-proof product. And I think that with Cinedeck we do, right? We keep it as open as possible. We integrate with as many people as possible. We, like I said, we have an on-prem, we have cloud, so it's sort of, we're trying to do a lot of different things.
I love that too, because that is true. It's like so much about that is the future proof, because when people are looking at creating that investment in technology, maybe they're ready to move part of it, or maybe they're like, you know what, we do have a plan. We want to do it in 5 years, and we know that the tools are going to be there, or that workflow or whatever, our infrastructure is going to be there.
Well, a couple of years ago, when everybody was moving from SD, not a couple of years, long time ago, SD to HD, they ripped out their whole infrastructure and put in all the HD infrastructure, and now some of those people who missed that transition are going directly from SD to IP 2110. Believe it or not, that's crazy. But it's being done. So you have to be able to support that workflow today, not next year, not in 6 months. Like, we do that today. So it's it's just a really interesting time, because there's so much transformation happening. Not only with things like AI and ChatGPT, but also just the infrastructure, the way that we're doing things is changing. Production and post-production, like that whole process is collapsing, right? Like, look at this. We're doing a live show.
Right.
10 years ago, would this have happened?
Never. With the connectivity or any of it.
So it's just a cool kind of place to be in this transition.
No, I totally agree. No, this is so great. Well, so thank you so much, Jane, for talking to us about everything that you're working on at Cinedeck. That is so fantastic. You have so many great products, and I'm gonna love saying that creativity and the technology piece that you talked about, because I think that's so important, and that's gonna apply all over the place in terms of what we're talking about AI. So I love that. So thank you so much. And so back to you, Ryan.